Hello, Gemini. This is Summer from Tarot by Summer, and I'm here to do your general reading for your zodiac sign, Gemini. If this is your first time here seeing the video and visit the channel, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back, you guys. So happy to be here. Anyway, I don't want to chew up too much of your time because those of you who are returning know I can be long-winded in videos. So I want to try and get as much in about your reading as possible and a little less chatting, but we'll see how that goes. I can't make any promises. Anyway, Gemini, I meditated, I said prayer and I meditated over your reading. And during meditation, I saw a woman in like a little rowboat. She was wearing a green top and like some little brown shorts. She had her hair, she had like a lot of hair, a lot of red auburn hair, like a bunch of real curly hair, and she had her hair pulled back in a ponytail. Her hair was not like mine, you know. My hair is in locks here, but her hair is, you know, a lot curlier and wavier, and she had it pulled back in a ponytail toward the back, and she had on some dark glasses. She was in this like rowboat by herself, like a little boat, looked like a little canoe, and you know she has this thing, and she has an oar, and she's paddling on both sides. So she's standing in this, you know, like kind of squatting in the boat, and you know she's paddling like that, and it looked like a swamp area, and you know I'm in this meditation. Gosh, this is interesting. But she's in like a swamp area, like in Louisiana. I don't know what this means for any of you, but maybe I'm connecting with somebody who's in Louisiana or in that region. You know, somewhere along the Gulf, maybe the panhandles of Florida or something. But it's kind of swampy, but not like a lot of vines all over the place, but you know, sort of like damp and swampy. So I'm actually thinking like along the Gulf somewhere. So she's in this rowboat, you know, she's paddling with her oar, and she's moving slowly. And then she starts like approaching this like look like a lake house or something, like a little small lake house, like near a cabin or something. So I don't know what that means for anybody. I didn't hear anything. Sometimes I hear things, you know, I can hear like a word or something that may be associated with a vision that I have when I meditate. But it sort of feels like this woman is like maybe on vacation, or in, you know, in seclusion or something, or maybe this is like a summer place for her, where she lives. I don't know what that means. You know, maybe, hey, if any of this means anything to you guys, please, you know, I always ask, leave me a comment. Let me know. Share your story. I'd be interested to know, you know, if this resonates with anyone. Or you can send me a private message if you want, if you don't want to share with everybody in the public. But definitely, I found it interesting. Very, very interesting. Maybe it'll come out in the reading as well. Sometimes that happens when I do the reading. I'll get an answer to like a vision that I have about someone, or an energy that's taking place with somebody, you know, maybe in their home. It might not be them directly, but you know, Please, you guys, let me know. I'm really curious about this woman in this little boat. Anyway, Gemini, I'm going to start with the bottom of the deck. And this last card gives me like the overall energy of what's going on in the reading, or what's going on with you guys. And you got the Ten of Swords. The Ten of Swords is your energy, Gemini. It's representative of the air sign, Gemini, Aquarius, and Libra. And the Ten of Swords is about feeling despair, feeling you've been betrayed, you've been really, really hurt, and it's the extreme of like pain. This person is like laying on the ground. He looks like he'd be bleeding, he's laying there on the ground with swords in his back. He's reached the end of his rope. He's reached the end of an experience of a cycle. This is a complete end where the cycles, where this is the end of a cycle, okay? Or the complete ending. It's like the end, and then it starts a new beginning. Once you remove the 0 from it, you have a 1 again. So it's not going to get any worse than this part, okay? And I don't know, you guys have gone through something. You've gone through some despair, some extreme pain. Somebody's feeling something very painful. But it's okay, because whatever that is, this is it. A complete cycle. This is it. Okay. I'm going to go, pardon me for my eyes, I have allergies. I'm going to go a few more cards down. I'm going to go a few more cards down for a little bit more clarity about maybe something that you're holding on to and don't want the world to know, or you're hiding, or, maybe it'll tell me a little bit more about your past, but it does help out with the reading. So we want to know what this energy, what's going on with this of Swords, and why it is the overall energy, why pain is your overall energy for your reading. Okay, I think I'm going to stop right here at the 4 of Wands. You have the 4 of Wands, the 3 of Wands, the 2 of Swords. We're reducing down in numbers. Then we have the 6 of Cups, and then the 10 of Swords. Okay, I'm stopping right here. Because this relates to the middle of your reading, family. This relates to the reading, period. Okay, all right. We're getting a story here. Gemini, some of you had a family, okay? Some of you started a family, you got married, you had, or you've been with a significant other for a long time, for quite some time, or maybe even a short period of time, and started building a foundation with your family. There was something to celebrate about. Could also have been the purchase of a new home or new property. It could have been that with your husband or wife or significant other. But it's definitely laying the foundation in the beginning. And then next to that is the 3 of Wands. And the wands represent fire energy. Leo, Sagittarius, Aries. So some of you, you purchased a home and maybe traveled with your significant other or your husband or your wife. Maybe purchased a home abroad. went on vacation together, traveled, you got the family together, and you did some family traveling here, because the wands are action cards. They're physical cards. I mean, well, sword energy is action too, but sword energy is like action of the mind. What's going on inside the mind, inside the mind. But it can also be action. But the wands are action and it's like physical action and spirit. But then somewhere along the line, the four and the three was reduced down to a two of swords. This is your energy. This is you, Gemini. And for me, this represents the duality of Gemini, the two sides of Gemini. It looks like some of you were caught between a decision that you needed to make, but you're also conflicted between the duality within yourself, and this is what I'm picking up. Maybe part of you wanted something and the other part of you needed something else. So typically the Two of Swords is about needing to make a decision, but you're not making a decision. You're guarded, and you're wearing a blindfold. And this blindfold is self-imposed, like wearing rose-colored glasses. You're supposed to see something. You're supposed to see something, but you're refusing to see something for what it is. So you're guarded. You're not ready to see something for what it is, and you need to make a decision. You need to see. But this feels a little bit different. This feels more like maybe a cross between the two. You needing to make a decision, and you having that inner battle with the two sides of Gemini. Maybe you're conflicted between maybe it feels like some of you were conflicted between starting a family, having this family, or venturing out on your own and doing something different. This is what it feels like for me, for some of you. This is like the two sides, wanting independence and travel and success, and waiting for your ship to come in, and then family over here, the beginning of a new family. Which one do you do? But you need both. Can't decide. Or you having a family and you having alternatives out there in the world. Maybe needing to see other people, to continue seeing other people, because you have the twos and you have the threes. You have a 2 and a 3 up here that could represent dating other people, third party situation, in a love relationship, cross between family and seeing other people. This is what it feels like for some of you. Okay, next to the Two of Swords is the Six of Cups, and this is about friendship. This is about nostalgia, feeling nostalgic about the past. An old friend coming to visit, connecting with an old friend from the past. It's about friendship, definitely. And this is the cups represent the water signs, Pisces, Cancer, and Scorpio. So some of you be involved with fire signs, Sagittarius, Aries, Leo, and there's conflict here. There's some sort of conflict. It feels like Maybe this person, maybe some of you ventured off and reconnected with someone from your past, like a past friend. You reconnected, you reminisced, you went down memory lane with this person. Okay, maybe you took a trip somewhere, went to see an old friend, got reacquainted, but then you have family over here. Maybe you reconnected, some of you reconnected with Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, and left your fire sign at home, and then there's conflict. You made that decision to do that. This could either be you, or maybe this happened with someone in your family, your mate. But whatever this situation is, it brought some despair. It brought extreme pain. It brought hurt to the situation. So whatever decision that was made turned out for the worse. And this is what I'm picking up. This is what I'm feeling. This is what I'm seeing. For some of you, either this friend brought some pain to you, a friend from the past that return brought some pain for you. Their visit brought some pain. Your acquaintance with them brought some pain. It might not have been intentional on your part to reconnect with this person. I mean, it might not have been intentional to create some sort of environment or experience where there was pain. But traveling down memory lane brought back a lot of pain. Pain to you, pain to your household. For some of you, this is a child bringing pain. Something happened with a child, or with, someone's child or one of your children that brought pain, extreme pain. You couldn't see something about a child in your life, maybe one of your children. There was something you were supposed to see, but you didn't see it. You had your blinders on. And this brought pain, a lot of pain. Maybe some of you lost a child. You had a family over here. Bright new beginning, travel, happiness with your family. Maybe, feels like some of you, that there's a loss of a child here. And if there has been, I'm very sorry. Heart goes out to you guys. And look at this, it may have been a new birth. I'm looking at this right now, Ace of Cups. This may have been a new birth for some of you. Okay, new birth. Coming into the family. Celebration after a birth. Feeling really good and optimistic and, looking towards the future with building a family, and, you taking out a little time for yourself and really looking at, the bigger picture, the world. That's what this looks like too. When you step out of the house and you just take a walk and you going to gaze up at the moon, take a little evening walk or something, or even a daytime walk. and you're thinking about all of the wonderful things that are coming, and you're planning, and you come back home and you're feeling good, you've got some thoughts together, new ideas coming. That's what that feels like to me. It feels like when I take a walk away from the house. Okay, Gemini, in the near past you had, no, let me go to the center first. I don't do main deck like, with reversal cards, because I like to let those, I like to let that energy sort of come in naturally, because sometimes oftentimes the cards turn around by themselves anyway if they need to come out that way. If there's something that I need to pay special attention to, then those cards will come in the way that they're supposed to come in anyway. But I do a miniature deck in reversal because it helps me to laser focus better in an area that I need to focus on. So this is, I do this one in reversal for the clarifiers. Now you've got a few cards that flipped around, and at your center you have, I'm going to read them however they come in. At your center you have the Ten of Cups. This is a complete circle. A cycle has completed, and it's ready for a new beginning. It's ready to return right back to one. Okay? It's neither in the upright position, which will mean total happiness with family, total happiness in something in your life, period. You've worked hard, you reach that cycle of one all the way to complete happiness. In the reverse position, you've had this happiness and lost it. Something happened, it could be going through divorce, family, split up family, breaking up, kids going away to college, so everyone is maybe sort of disbanding. It doesn't always have to be really bad. Could just be, everyone moving on and starting your offspring, your children starting their own families. So that little unit at home is, could be disbanding. But you got this in the horizontal position. And the top of the card is pointing in the future direction. This tells me that you are, when they come in the horizontal position, there's usually something that you're in limbo about. You're in limbo in your thoughts, in your feelings, or you're in like the middle of a process. So it's neither upright or reverse, but you're like somewhere in the middle of that process. You're taking, you're actively in the middle of it. It doesn't always have to mean, for me, it doesn't always have to mean in limbo or confusion. It still looks good to me. This looks good. It looks like you're in the middle of this process of rebuilding family, or not rebuilding family, because you have family here, there's family, but you're in the middle of a process of taking your family in a new direction. There's something new that you want to do with your family. It's pointing towards the future. This feels like a process. We're going to add some clarifiers to this, because I want to just be sure. Now, what covers you, what covers you as the 10 is the family, is the King of Cups. What's covering you could either hurt you or help you. And I really don't think that the King of Cups is here to help you. I mean, to hurt you. This King of Cups feels like a spouse. This is a spouse or a significant other. Could, is usually a man, but it could be the energy of a woman. This person is a husband figure. He's very intuitive. He's loving. He's kind. He's a good husband. He's a good mate for you. But he's here. He's strong. The only way I could really see him hurting, hindering a situation at this moment is if you don't recognize him as who he is in your life or who's coming. If this person isn't here yet and he's coming to, or returning to the family, to a family situation, and you want to start over and take things to a new direction or take it to a new level, and you don't see this, you don't see the possibilities of this, because maybe you've been so hurt that you can't see it yet. You won't be able to recognize it when it comes, because this is for this. Some of this will have happened already, some of this is in the process of happening, and some of this is coming a little further down the line. But it feels good, it looks good, it doesn't feel bad at all. What is at your foundation is the Empress. And this is a major arcana card. The Empress is about fertility, it's about abundance, it's about creating whatever you want in your life. The Empress has the power. She's the most feminine woman of the deck. She's like the mother of the queens within the minor arcana cards. She's like the mother of the Queen of Cups, Queen of Pentacles, Queen of Wands, and Queen of Swords. She embodies all of those energies. She's opulent. She's also spoiled because she gets everything and she's used to it. This is a very good card, though. It is a very good card, very positive card, very positive energy. This tells me that if you're happy in your home, you're happy, you're prosperous. You have a good home life. You could also, you could also be pregnant, which would show, you taking the family to a new direction. Something, change is occurring in your family. Your husband is here, the Empress is here, this is quite a few of you. Your husband is happy, or your significant other, your mate is very happy. You're getting, you're having a baby, or creating whatever you want within your family. Could even be adoption. That could be like for some of you, like an alternative, taking the family into a new direction. Instead of having a baby, you're doing something in addition. You're doing something else. And adopting or taking a foster child. Because it's different. This card is different than the upright position. So this is what it feels like to me for some of you. In the near past is the Death card. Okay, this is, pardon me. In the near past, this is you have the Death card. And this is the sign of the Scorpio. This is symbolic of the Scorpio. The Death card in the upright position, a lot of people see this card and they get so squirmy. They don't feel good about it. It doesn't feel good to see this card. It looks scary. It looks frightening. Brings on anxiety, kind of like the Tower card. But the Death card is actually a good card because it brings about that change from a situation that's been lingering, it's been in the process of ending for so long, or it needed to come to an ending, but nothing was ever done about it to bring this process to an ending. So when the Death card comes, it's like, okay, this is it. This is the end of the line. It's time for this to end. Like here, you have the Nine of Swords in the upright position, and then in the near past, you have the Death card. Okay, so this is bringing the ending to this situation, like I was talking about with this complete cycle. Remember when I said that you can't, you're not going to get any further than this. It's not going to get any worse. This is like the worst feeling, the worst experience. But the Death card comes in and puts this ending to it for a new beginning, because the cycle has completed. However, once this Death card comes in, newness starts after that, like rebirth, like resurrection, or new birth. But in the reverse position, you didn't want something to end, or you wanted to slow down the process, because you knew this ending was coming. And either way, whether it's reverse or whether it's upright or reverse, we usually know that something's coming to an end, or it needs to come to an end. We know it. But it's time. Some of you didn't want this ending. You weren't ready for this. You weren't psychologically or emotionally ready for this. So you tried to prolong it, you tried to stop it, you tried to slow it down until you were ready. But nevertheless, it came. This could also mean making this ending process more difficult than necessary in the reverse position. But nevertheless, something ended, whether you liked it or not, or whether you were ready or not. At your crown, what crowns you, what's on your mind, or whatever message is coming in from spirit, because it's at the head, it's at the crown chakra, where messages come in, dealing with your spirit, the spirit realm, and your spirit. It comes in through the top of your head, through your crown chakra. You have the Ace of Swords, and this is again your energy, Gemini. The sword energy, the air energy. In the upright position, the aces are about new beginnings, something coming in new to your life. At the beginning, with the Ace of Swords, something new coming in, a new opportunity for something, for success, information about something new and sharp coming in. It's usually good. New information, sharp information, the answer, the truth about a situation that's coming. You getting light or clarity on something that you've been thinking about, something you've been contemplating or maybe planning. It could also mean operation in a medical sense, you needing some sort of procedure. It could also mean that. That sharp, swift, cut and dry answer to something that you've been thinking about. But it came in the reverse position. It came in upside down. Maybe whatever you were asking and you wanted clarity on, you're getting a no answer. Or for some of you, you're getting a no answer. The answer is no. For some of you, something that you wanted to come in, there's a delay in it. Maybe a delay in success that that you wanted, or delay in some sort of legal process, something falling through, or I don't know. We want to bring more clarity to this, because it could be different scenarios. We definitely want to know why this Ace of Swords is in the reverse position. It could also mean some sort of conflict coming in. Confusion, conflict. Because it's a very sharp energy. But we're going to bring clarity to that. It's interesting because it's at the over the family and over the Empress. Maybe there's some sort of fear, inside your head that if you're pregnant, you'll lose this child, or you're fearing that you will lose in a situation if you are indeed trying to adopt and extend your family, take your family do something different with your family and take it to a new direction of take a new approach at family building or extending the family. Maybe you're concerned. This is what it feels like, it's regarding the family and pregnancy and children. We're going to get to that. Then in the near future, you have the Page of Wands. And the Page of Wands is about a new beginning coming in and doing something with this new beginning. Because the Ace of Wands is about having a new beginning with something. Getting that offer of a new beginning with the Ace of Wands, and the Page of Wands is taking that wand and doing something with it. It also means receiving news of something. The pages are also information about news coming in, someone bringing news to you, the beginning of a process that you're going to go through, an action beginning. You're taking the initiative after you receive this offer, you receive news. This could also mean the pages also represent children in your life. So this could be a child coming in the near future from this situation. We're going to clarify a few cards here. Spirit, what messages do you have for the Ace of Swords? Can you please clarify why the Ace of Swords is in reverse? Can you please clarify for us why the Ace of Swords is in reverse? You got the Hermit in the upright position. Needing to go, you've been going inside, or you will need to go deep inside to find some answers about things. or this is something that you've either done it, you're in this process, or you need to do it. Go inside, find some answers, seek clarity. Can you tell us why the Ace of Swords is in reverse, Spirit? Give me another card. It feels like this one must have come out. It's not quite clear. You've been overburdened. 10 of Wands in the upright position over, this looks physical. Little cards here. Can you give me another card? Let's see. Okay, we're gonna go with this one. Four of Pentacles in the upright position. You have the Hermit. You have 10 of Wands, and you have Four of Pentacles. Okay. This feels very physical for me. This feels like it's health related. Somebody's concerned about their body not being in the proper condition, the proper physical condition to do something. It feels like to have a child. You want a child, some of you want a child, or you want another child because you lost in the past, because this is the overall energy and this is all playing out to me. There was a tremendous loss here. And you have the Ace of Wands in the reverse position, the Hermit needing to go inside, or feeling sort of down because you have been going inside, you have been worrying, feeling depressed. You've spent a lot of time in the inside, or you will be. Chances are you have. And then you have the Four of Pentacles in the upright position. This is a lot of stress. This 10 of Wands in the upright position, a lot of stress, a lot of burdens, a lot of physical burdens. Too much stress on the body. And you needing to hold on, or maybe you need to hold on coming up. This is about someone holding on to something monetary, holding on tightly, so that you won't lose it, or so that it won't be taken from you. And I have the feeling that this is related to the Empress because she's pregnant. I'm just going to put it out there and say this. This is my feeling. My gut instinct is telling me, Gemini, if you want to have another baby, or you want to have a baby, maybe you failed in the past, something happened and you weren't able to keep your child or hold on to it and you lost your child. Maybe you had a miscarriage and you want to prevent this. Maybe you're pregnant now, or you want to get pregnant. And I've had similar readings to this before. But this definitely feels physical. I feel like maybe, instead of worrying about whether you're going to lose it again, instead of worrying about having to have a procedure to maybe help you keep a child, or fear of what the doctors say to you when you go to the doctor, because this feels like worry, anxiety, fear. This is Virgo energy. Typically, in general, this is being introspective and going inside to seek knowledge, to seek, wisdom from the inside and coming back with answers. But since this is a Virgo card, in this particular reading, this is not about introspection to me. This is about worry, anxiety, fear, fearing the worst, being pessimistic, maybe judging or criticizing yourself too hard about something. Procrastination. You having the answers but not really doing anything with it, because then you get caught up inside your head. This energy, this Virgo energy with your head, with that air energy in Gemini, you being caught in your head, that's not a good mix. It's really not. And what you need to do is, if you're concerned about your health, about the well-being of you having a baby, or maybe you not wanting to lose it, having fear about that, go to the doctor. Maybe, if you've had this issue in the past, go to a specialist go to a specialist. Maybe seek counsel. Not counsel, but seek a consultation from another physician. Maybe a specialist, to remove this burden of anxiety. Get off your feet, start trying to relax a bit more. Get rid of some of the physical stress, in your body, mental, emotional, spiritual stress. Spiritual stress, that's a new one. But yeah, you can be stressed out spiritually. You can be going through some inner battles spiritually, absolutely. So that you can hold on, to a pregnancy. You want to clear this up. Get off your feet. Try not to be, so stressed out, and, ease your mind and emotions. Because if you're pregnant, you want to be able to hold on to this baby. You want to be able to hold it and not lose it. And I know this is being very, very specific. I'm being very specific in this reading, as if I'm reading for someone, a client, but I can't help it. This is what it feels like. This is coming on strong, For some of you, this isn't an alternative, or necessarily you trying to do something alternatively. But for some of you, this is a concern about you not being able to keep this baby and have this family happiness, because you are afraid that you will lose it and create more unhappiness, more stress, more sadness in your family. So you're like right here in the middle. You're like, your emotions are caught somewhere in the middle. What do I do? Do I keep it? Do I try again? And your spouse is saying, honey, let's go for it. Let's try again. It's okay. Let's try again. Let's try again. We can do it. It'll be okay. We can do it. This could be some good news coming in from the doctor right here. From a specialist. This isn't a doctor card, but it may be good news about a pregnancy coming in, or good news after you see the doctor. It may be a sun, male fire energy. It could be, it feels like a son. It does. It could be a girl, but it feels like a boy coming in. So try and ease your mind. Try and ease your mind a little bit. I'm not going to clarify any more cards because you had some cards that came in reverse and sideways, and the death in reverse makes sense with the of swords. This all makes sense. It's very, very specific. And hey, if you are that woman in the boat that I saw, then maybe you do need to get away for a little rest and relaxation. Maybe spend a little alone time. Maybe that's what some of you need with this hermit. Spend a little alone time, do something special for yourself, Try to relax. If you got a little cabin or a little getaway, or you need to take a vacation, go ahead and do so. Maybe you need to take you and your spouse need to take a vacation, get off your feet, go somewhere, do something relaxing, I want to close out this reading with a few messages from Spirit. And this is a Spirit Messages deck. Okay. I love this deck so much. Spirit, what messages do you have for Gemini, our lovely Geminis? Can you tell us what you need? Can you give us some messages? What do you need Gemini to know? What do you need Gemini to know? Spirit, what messages do you have for Gemini? You got receive. Spirit, what messages do you need for Gemini to know? Take a moment. Okay. You are a kind and loving soul who constantly reaches out and gives to others, but now is the time for you to learn how to graciously receive. Just as with the ebb and flow of the tides, the art of giving and receiving is the natural law and order of the universe. Take a moment. Stop. Now is not the time to rush into decisions you're about to make. Before this important decision is made, take a moment and pause, quiet with your mind so that you can ask your soul for guidance before you act or move. And this is like that sword energy coming in. Take a moment. Maybe you do need to take a moment to yourself. Take a moment to yourself. You want to think about what it is you need to do, but not think too hard. Because you don't want to add any more stress on your body if you're trying to have a baby, or you're trying to, some of you, it's about starting something new. Excuse me. And you need to, maybe starting something new and creative, and you are afraid that it's going to fall through. That's going to be for some of you. Okay, for some of you it is pregnancy, it depends. It depends on who's receiving this message and what it means to you. But you want to ease your mind, relax your mind a little bit, relax your mind and your body so that you can receive messages. So that you can receive the clarity, not laced with worry and anxiety, and receive. Relax. Expect to receive. Be ready to receive gifts that are coming to you. If you're a giving person, always giving of yourself. You got to be open to receive as well, because that balances out the law of the universe, that balances out the law of, giving and receiving. If you give all the time, what you tell the universe is, I'm not worthy of receiving. There has to be some balance between the two for everything to ebb and flow properly. Know your worth. Simply love. Look at this. This is about a child. For many of you, it's about a child. You could be adopting, or you have a child. Remember when I said about an alternative into the family? An alternative way to have a child. If you cannot have another child, but you would like, definitely look into adoption. Be open to receive that. Be open to accept a child that's not, yours biologically, if you're having some issues with that. Or, for some of you, get ready, because one is coming. And be open to receive again. Don't worry too much about what happened in the past if you lost one. I mean, I can't say don't worry too much, but try and work through that, Try and work through that. Get some counseling if that's something that you need. Talk to someone, get some support that you need. Talk to your clergy or someone in your church. Talk to your pastor if you go to church. Talk to some friends and family, or seek spiritual guidance from someone if that's what you need to do. But try not to let this, if this is something that happened to you with your child, try not to let this stop you from starting over again. Be ready to receive. You've reached the end of that pain, the end of that cycle where you've lost. Now it's time to receive again. Simply love. And this is actually the same card. This is about the 6 and the 6. This is about, childhood. Something from the past, expecting something new, in terms of children. It's very similar to that card. Heart chakra, open up. Yep. Fire energy. We're right back to the 4 of Wands. Here we are. We're right back to this. This is something that you had in the past, with opening up to new family, building new family. And you can do it again. This is the future. You can do this again. You can get this again. You can get it back. If you've lost it completely, you can start over brand new. Your opportunity to have this family that you want, or you can rebuild it. But you gotta open up. You cannot stay in that hermit mode. If you need to go into your little hermit mode and be by yourself a little bit, and you need to cry and you need to lament, go ahead and do that, but don't stay there. Do not stay there. And in the middle, I know you've been heartbroken, but you have to work on healing this heart energy. You've been heartbroken. Gotta work on this. You must work on this. healing your heart. I suggest getting some meditation. You know, you can easily go onto YouTube and find meditations for chakra balancing. Very, very easy to find, and they're helpful. Get you some earplugs. You can get the little short meditations, and they don't have to be long. I do recommend them. I do them. I do meditations. You know, I listen, or I just do them on my own, go into my own meditations and ground and balance out the chakra. Excuse me. But, you know, go on there and see if you can find something to help you clear that energy blockage of your heart chakra, because it's coming out strong. Okay, Gemini, this concludes this reading for the moment, and until we meet again for December, and in the middle of this for your love reading, I'll be back for you guys, you know, around the middle of this to do your love reading. And please, if you like this video, give me the thumbs up. Please subscribe, share with your friends if anything resonated with you. If you need a personal reading where I can just concentrate on the energy of you and only you and your situation, then contact me. We'll set up something for a video reading much like this one. I'm not doing phone readings and Skype at the moment because of the schedule. I won't be able to do that at this moment. I have a lot going on. A very, very busy life where I've got so many responsibilities. I'm juggling. I'm trying to get them all in, but I will definitely make time for you. Put a video together for you. We can discuss. You can ask questions, and we can take it from there. Also, please, if you do like, subscribe, share. I appreciate you. I appreciate all your support. I appreciate the orders that you guys have put in with me. Much appreciated. And I look forward to doing another reading for you. Take care, Gemini. Good luck to you. God bless. And let the healing begin. Sending you plenty of love and light. Bye-bye.